Share. Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Up late. Decide to do a video, I guess. Guess I could take that off. Well, today. Let's see what my girl Camille and Ben was dealing today.
$1 million payout.
Restoring his reputation, and he's done that.
Did Johnny Depp's lawyers just hint the actor may not collect his $10.4 million payout from ex-wife Amber Heard? Here's what we know. Benjamin Chew and Camille Vasquez dropped by Good Morning America on Wednesday. They repped Johnny in his defamation suit against Amber, which he won last week, and say the actor's more than satisfied with the outcome.
George, we obviously can't disclose attorney-client communications, but as Mr. Depp testified, and as we both made clear in our respective closings, this was never about money for Mr. Depp. So this was about restoring his reputation, and he's done that.
So they won't say for sure what will happen, but since it seems unlikely that Amber can afford the damages, Johnny might accept little to no payout.
It sounds like that's something that could be on the table, but it's up to Ms. Heard.
Again, we have to be careful what we say, but this was about Mr. Depp's reputation. That was what it was about for him. It was a total win for Johnny.
And he seems to be riding high on the win in court and the
Johnny's looking great, and the lawyers, Camille is looking amazing, and the whole lawyer team, they just look like familiar. They look great. Let's see what social media still trying to say. So, okay, continue.
court of public opinion.
It was like the weight of the world had been taken off his shoulders, and I feel that finally, after 6 years, he's gotten his life back.
The actor signed up for TikTok after the high-profile trial ended. Clips from the case went viral on the app over the course of the 6-week legal battle.
Ms. Heard, there is no question pending, and I would appreciate it if you wouldn't be making argument to the jury.
Sorry, I thought you had asked me about it.
No, I didn't ask you about anything.
In his first video, Johnny thanked his loyal and
She is
unwavering supporters
amazing
and promised to move forward together, which didn't sit right with Amber. Her
Camille. She ain't playing with Amber. She ain't come to court to play with you today. Don't start no shit. She ain't playing with you over there lying. You're a lying ass. Let's get it.
spokesperson told ET, quote, "As Johnny Depp says he's moving forward, women's rights are moving backward." And in a separate statement, Amber's team slammed Johnny's lawyers for making the press rounds after the trial. Quote, "It is as unseemly as it is unprofessional that Johnny Depp's legal team has chosen to do a victory lap for setting back decades of how women can be treated in the courtroom." Now, for what it's worth, Amber's lawyer also made the TV rounds before Johnny's.
Well, her next move is appeal. There were
But
a
she's
number.
heartbroken.
She is heartbroken.
Cut to Camille on Wednesday. She fired back at Amber's claims that talking about the case is unprofessional.
I think it's disappointing. We're only speaking about what happened in this case, right? And the facts in this case were overwhelmingly positive for Johnny. And
couldn't have said it any better myself. Couldn't have said it any better myself. Couldn't have said it any better. I love this lady. She's amazing, man. We need more strong and beautiful women that willing to, do the work, man. A lot of women, unfortunately, a lot of women, some guys, everybody want to be famous. Nobody want to do the work. But here, Camille and Ben out here doing the work. Let's get it. Talk to them, Camille.
And the verdict speaks for itself.
Camille, who became a breakout star of the trial, also refutes claims that Johnny's win sets back the Me Too movement and might make victims of domestic abuse afraid to
Why mainstream media keep trying to push out, just keep trying to put out, this have nothing to do with anybody that's a real victim, that's not lying. Whether you're a woman or a man, you're not lying, you're not making up stories, you're not just, making up holes to ruin somebody's life. That this case have nothing to do with you. Real victims with real proofs out there. This have nothing to do with real victims with real proof. This have everything to do with anybody that's trying to make up false stories and lying somebody that could ruin their life for years. Lies like this could be that lies like these could be detrimental for people's life, people's career, people's jobs. Lies like these are not something that we should be taking so lightly. Sometimes, like, I know we have loving people here, like myself, and so much wonderful people probably watching around the world. Sometimes it's easy for people with good mind and their heart is in the right place. Sometimes it's really hard for us to really look at what's really going on. But when you check it out, though, like, what Ember did is just, when you watch her lies, and it's you want to be sorry for her, but just seeing that she planned this, and you know she decide, not only she abuse this man, and after she abused this man, she tried to blackmail this man, then she take 7 million, and this man said, okay, leave me alone. After she did all of that, she's like, okay, not only you help me with a movie, whatever, I'm gonna take the 7 million, and I'm still gonna put a hit piece out on you with somebody else, instead of just taking the money. 'Cause once again, your plan is not really to donate the money. Leave Johnny alone, take your money, keep your head low. Little by little, people will forget that you actually, plan say was gonna donate. It is what it is. You get to, continue making your movies here and there, continue being rich, and people, cause even after everything, like, if you didn't put that, Johnny goes way, you go your way. Bad enough, you know, when you take out that fake restraining order, and then you and Johnny get divorced. You didn't put anything out. He gave you 7 million, then you went and go put a hit piece out. You are already making him look bad, and he could come out and said, hey, I didn't do anything, she's trying to spin, and but he still was like, all right, she kind of making me look bad, whatever the case, I didn't do her anything, and he just leave it as that. But then you take the 7 million and still went behind his back to put a hit piece out. You just wouldn't leave this man alone. You just keep taking and taking and taking and take. He gave you everything he got. He gave you his blood, sweat, and tears, and his money, and his time. But you still wanted more. He gave you everything he have, and you still like, oh, I'm not gonna just leave this man alone. I abuse him, take him for granted, walk over him, don't respect him, don't love him, just love the lifestyle he afford me, and the fame he afford me, and the spotlight he afford me, and you're just like a real vampire. You just like sucking him for everything, and that's sad. Every time I feel bad for her, I kind of try to look at her action. I'm like, wow, her action made me furious that, she did all of this crazy stuff to this great man that did so much wonderful things to her. Talk to them.
Speak out.
You don't see this as a setback to the movement in any way, shape, or form?
We do not. We believe that.
And why mainstream media keep asking them these weird questions? This is nothing to do about real victims. Oh, you don't see this? No, it's not. Anybody that's a victim, no matter what your gender is, come forward. No matter what your gender is, come forward and keep your evidence, your proof. Hopefully, if you have any witness that's actually willing to, because some people are truthful, but it depends on your witness. Some people hate going in court. So it's not that they're lying. Some people just hate going to court. So hopefully, it's people you have with relationship that wouldn't mind testifying for you and, speak the truth, what they saw and what they hear. So all people that are a real victim, like this have nothing to do with people that are a real victim. They keep asking these weird little nonchalant questions like, the answers are going to change. The answers are not going to change. Y'all looking for a victim? Johnny was the victim.
The verdict speaks for itself. The facts are what they were. The jury made a unanimous decision based on those facts.
Camille even goes as far as to point out that all evidence in the case came from Amber.
I think that her impression on the jury was what it was. I think something that I focused on and we focused on in that cross-examination was using her words against her. And it was very important for us to, every question that was asked was tied to something she had said previously. And I think the jury got to see and the world got to see and hear from Ms. Heard in that relationship on every single topic.
Is Johnny Depp about to let Amber Heard off the hook?
That was something. And then, see, that's the next thing. That's the next narrative that they're trying to push now. Like, is Johnny Depp about to let Amber Heard off the hook? See, the mainstream media is still not trying to hold her for what she did. They keep worrying what is Johnny's going to do? Is he going to go through and get the money? And, it's like, they're not taking his pain that this woman put him through for the last 6 years. Like it's like they keep dismissing everything that he been through for the last 6 years. And it's like they want him to just overlook everything, that know that he been through hell and he walked through the fire and he make it to the next side. And it's like mainstream media not holding this Jezebel accountable. It's like they keep, oh, what is Johnny going to do? What is Johnny going to do? Not that he proved his name. Not that we see that, Amber was lying. But you see, independent media say Amber was lying. Most of the mainstream medias are actually not saying Amber was lying. No, oh, what is he going to do? Is he gonna drop? No, you need to hold this woman accountable. And hopefully this woman could go to therapy and get some help for a change. You have a beautiful baby girl to be looking out for. You need to make sure his mind is in the right place. Yeah, what was that? Okay. Go back.
$1 million payout from ex-wife Amber Heard. Here's what we know. Benjamin Chew and Camille Vasquez dropped by Good Morning America on Wednesday. They rep Johnny in his defamation suit against Amber.
I'm here with Johnny Depp's lawyers, Camille Vasquez and Ben Chew, sitting down for their first interview since the...
All right, let's listen to the people. Let's watch it again.
Blockbuster verdict that Depp was famed by ex-wife Amber Heard. Welcome to you both. Camille, let me begin with you. I think the verdict surprised a lot of legal experts. They thought it was a very uphill fight from the beginning for you all. What was the key to victory?
I think the key to victory was focusing on the facts and the evidence. And Johnny's opportunity to speak the truth for the first time. It was 6 years in the making, and I think he was able to connect with the jury and the general public and tell what really happened in this relationship.
He wasn't in the courtroom for the verdict. What was his reaction when you told him?
He was over the moon. It was like the weight of the world had been taken off his shoulders, and I feel that finally, after 6 years, he's gotten his life back.
He also went on TikTok yesterday thanking his supporters on social media. What role did social media play in this verdict?
My view is that social media played no.
And they keep trying to, the mainstream media keep trying to ask this weird question, like what role did social media play? This have nothing to do with social media. I'm like, why is the mainstream media asking what role did this real evidence that Johnny bring in? What role did this real evidence and honesty got to play in this case? That's the question they should be asking. And they'd be like, the real evidence and got everything to do with why Johnny win. They keep asking these nonchalant questions like social media have nothing to do with the evidence that Johnny have nothing to do with social media. I'm like, as much as a lot of us like believe in Johnny, none of us could have gave Johnny the evidence that he need to win this case. It was up to Johnny and Ember to be trying to manipulate him and record him at the same time that Johnny could have get some of these record to use back against her so we could see what the evidence was. I'm like, as much as a lot of us love Johnny, we couldn't give him the evidence. We wasn't there. We couldn't actually record these stuff for him. But fortunately, he actually had the recordings and they was there. So yeah, like, social media, like all we could do is watch the case and said, yeah, Johnny is innocent and he's actually the victim. But still up to Johnny to, have great lawyers and have evidence to prove in the court of law to to show us that he's innocent. Guys, the way they talking like us in social media just gave Johnny all the evidence. Like we was all there recording, we was all there seeing what's going on. We going over the record, going over like the phone stuff, going over the witness, and we see what's going on. Come on, social media, mainstream social media, get it right. Let's get it.
Role whatsoever. This was a decision made by the jury on the evidence presented by both sides. And as Camille said, it was overwhelmingly in Mr. Depp's favor.
Ms. Heard's lawyers put out a statement yesterday saying the verdict was a setback for women's rights. And they went on to say that it's unseemly and unprofessional for you all to be, quote, taking a victory lap for setting back decades of how women can be treated in the courtroom. How do you respond to that?
I think it's disappointing. We're only speaking about what happened in this case, right? And the facts in this case were overwhelmingly positive for Johnny, and the verdict speaks for itself.
How about the broader criticism, though? It's not just from Heard's teams. Victims advocates have argued.
You see what I mean? Like, here is the winning party, and this guy is not asking most of the stuff like, I can't believe how much evidence y'all have. I can't believe how much people that came out that was actually real victim that said, thank goodness Johnny win the case. You see, they're not really talking about real victims that came out and saying they're happy to see, the justice system work with when you have evidence on your side, don't matter who you are. So it's like they keep asking these questions, but they're not really talking about, hey, this great win with this real evidence and this woman been lying in Johnny for the last 6 years. And they're not asking like, it's kind of weird that the Sons take all of this woman lie and print up on their newspaper and present it as the truth. Unfortunately, these are the questions they should be asking. Social mainstream media is really like putting me in a bad place. Give it up to all the independent medias out there that's doing the real work, actually bringing the truth to the people. Talk. Let's get it.
That the verdict is going to have a chilling effect on domestic violence victims, and it's a blow to the Me Too movement.
I think our response to that is we encourage any victim to come forward. Domestic violence doesn't have a gender.
So you don't see this as a setback to the movement in any way, shape, or form?
We do not. We believe.
You see, it's just like just now, like they're not even, like Camille said, domestic violence don't have a gender. And he never came and said that's amazing to know that all real victims out there can get the help. He just like bypassed that question, like Camille didn't just say domestic violence don't have a gender. How do you just bypass that and don't acknowledge what the great Camille just said? Come on, man. All of these mainstream media, they just keep trying to push this narrative and it just get under my skin. It's sad. Talk to them, Camille. And talk to them, Ben, because they playing games. We ain't playing.
That the verdict speaks for itself. The facts are what they were. The jury made a unanimous decision based on those facts.
During your cross-examination, what was your impression of Ms. Heard's impression on the jury?
I think that her impression on the jury was what it was. I think something that I focused on and we focused on in that cross-examination was using her words against her. And it was very important for us to, every question that was asked was tied to something she had said previously.
Yeah, she did a masterful work. She did a masterful work of just taking all of Amber's lies and bring it back around and hit her with one more of her lies, the next lie. It was so much lies. The whole court case, this woman did not take responsibility for nothing. Even when you catch him, even when you hear her say something, she said, I didn't say that. Even when you hear her doing something, she said, oh, I didn't do that. She take responsibility the whole court case for nothing. It's kind of sad. Get him, Camille.
And I think the jury got to see and the world got to see and hear from Ms. Heard in that relationship on every single topic.
And George, I think there was a real contrast. Johnny took ownership of a lot of things, and it seemed at times, and perhaps it came through to the jury, that she had an answer for everything, and she wasn't taking accountability for anything. And I think that made a difference.
Heard's lawyers say she plans to appeal the verdict. She doesn't have the money to pay for the judgment, and you all have said that the goal is not to impoverish Ms. Heard. Is it possible where we could see a settlement where she foregoes the appeal in return for Mr. Depp waiving any monetary damages?
Well, George, we obviously can't disclose attorney-client communications, but as Mr. Depp testified, and as we both made clear in our respective closings, this was never about money for Mr. Depp.
It wasn't about the money. It was about, getting a great guy, an innocent guy, being a victim by a woman, a malicious woman, a devious woman, a woman that, she don't care what she got to do. She's hungry by fame and power. She feel like she's one of the best actor in the world, but she's not. She wanna really like be one of the best actor, but she's not willing to do the work. Unfortunately, and she's willing to cut anybody's throat to get where she thinks she's supposed to be without doing the work.
So this was about restoring his reputation, and he's done that.
So you're not disclosing any privileges. Sounds like that's something that could be on the table, but it's up to Ms. Heard.
Again, we have to be careful what we say, but this was about Mr. Depp's reputation. That was what it was about for him.
Your life has changed a lot in the last several weeks. You got made partner this week. Congratulations.
Thank you very
Both
much.
of you have also become something of social media stars. How has it changed? What does it feel like?
It's been surreal, and if I'm being honest, a bit overwhelming. But if I can be an inspiration to young,
That's what you call an amazing woman. An amazing woman doing amazing things for good people out there. You know, we are always looking for woman empowerment. Here's a great woman. Why y'all social media should be talking about this woman, a woman that willing to do the work. Everybody want to be famous. Nobody want to do the work. Here's somebody that actually want to do the work. So amazing woman, great smile, great mind. That's what we talking about.
women that want to go to law school and study and work hard, then it was all worth it.
You made the choice to go to Virginia for this trial. How much of a difference did that make?
I think Virginia was a good venue for some legal and other reasons, and it has a fabulous court system, tremendous judges and fair juries, and I think this the evidence was listened to carefully on both sides by the jury, and again, it came overwhelmingly in Johnny's favor.
Ms. Heard did win on one count of defamation. Will you be appealing that?
Again, I think it's premature to say, but if you look at the context of the verdict, it was a total win for Johnny.
Thank you both very much.
Thank you very much, George.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our...
Okay, that was one of the stuff earlier that happened. Let's see what else.
$1 million payout from ex-wife Amber.
What else we have here? Got my boy Ben right there. Out the courthouse.
A trial watched by millions around the world, ending in a stunning verdict in favor of Johnny Depp. Last week, a jury found that Depp's ex-wife, Amber Heard, had defamed him in a 2018 Washington Post op-ed. She's been ordered to pay more than $10 million in damages. Heard, who plans to appeal, won just one of 3 claims in her counter lawsuit against Depp and was awarded $2 million in damages.
We are grateful, so grateful.
Depp supporters cheering the verdict, and Depp's lawyers, Camille Vasquez and Benjamin Chu, would become public figures in their own right during the trial. Legions of viewers on YouTube and social media hanging on every word and gesture.
Ms. Heard has told you that she has mountains of evidence of abuse, but there are no medical records.
Ms. Heard lies. She lies all the time.
Heard's team has alleged a coordinated social media campaign by Depp's side, turning public opinion and ultimately the jury against her.
They went home every night. They have families. The families are on social media. We had a 10-day break in the middle because of the judicial conference. There's no way they couldn't have been influenced by it.
A charge that
Amber lawyer. I guess I can. I guess to be fair, maybe I can't say all of Amber lie, but Elaine make a lot of excuse just like Amber. She mirrors so much like toxic behavior from Amber. Like, you know, the next guy, I don't really Rottenborn. Like, I don't really like his attitude, but At least I don't feel like he's just out there making up excuse like Amber. Elaine, just give me this Amber, like always making up excuse. Like never want to take blame for anything. It's kind of sad, but what can I say? This case is just, I'm happy to see all political backgrounds. I'm happy to see all political background, independent, Democrat, Republican, whatever political background you represent. I'm happy to see everybody come together and look at the evidence and say, this woman is guilty. Ray Charles could see this woman is guilty. So, I'm happy to see that real people are willing to watch the evidence and look at the real evidence. And no matter what gender, we could all point the truth out and said, I don't care what side I'm representing. This is the truth. That woman is lying. That's a dangerous and devious woman. And it's sad. This woman is out here trying to portray real victims' pain. That's not hers. She's trying to play a role. We know you play movies, but when you're trying to portray that somebody role in real life and you're actually ruining somebody's life, it's not a movie. I'm like, this woman is out here just trying to play roles that's not hers. And she's happy to play a fake victim and pose for people that are actually victim and said, I'll be your face. Real victim. I'll be your face. I know I'm not a victim, but I'll be your face. When you have plenty of real victims out there to be the face of actually their movement. People, you're down low when you're trying to represent something that you don't go through, but you're trying to portray that's your movement, and that that is that's just yuck. That's just sad that we got people that think like that. That's just down low and dirty. That's just devious, man. This woman got a dangerous mind. The deception.
That Depp's team denies, saying the outpouring of support for the actor is nothing but authentic. Depp thanked those supporters yesterday in his first post on a newly created TikTok account, writing, "We did the right thing together, all because you cared." And joining us now are Johnny Depp's lawyers, Camille Vasquez and Benjamin Chu. And a quick disclosure, my husband has done consulting work for the Depp legal team, but not in connection with this interview. So with that aside, let me ask you, did you speak to your client right after the verdict? What was his reaction in the moment?
I think just an overwhelming sense of relief. I was speaking with another friend of ours, a mutual friend of Johnny's and ours, and he said, I haven't seen Johnny smile like that in 6 years.
The weight of the world is off of his shoulders. He's got his life back.
As you well know, the law does not favor a plaintiff like Johnny Depp in a defamation case like this. The burden is very high, the threshold is high, and he crossed it. Frankly speaking, were you stunned at this victory? Ben?
Well, we had ultimate confidence in Johnny and the jury and the facts of this case, and you can only hope that the jury will see it. And in this case, they did, and the verdict was overwhelmingly in his favor. I
should mention the jury did find Mr. Depp responsible for defamation for one of the statements made by his lawyer. It accused her essentially of staging a scene in furtherance of an abuse hoax. How do you square that finding with the rest of the verdict, Camille?
I think it's just the verdict is overwhelmingly positive for Johnny.
And you see, it's just like they do there, as you see, most like Johnny win the case. This, for some reason, this lady Bailey, but get a little shot off for some reason, And they always like trying to, instead of they just focus on Johnny winning big. Johnny winning big, huge, humongous. Johnny, proving that, real victims out here. And Johnny proving once again, there are a lot of guys out there that are not violent guys. There are a lot of guys that are very smart. They are very successful. They got money. Some of them have clout. And sometimes they just pick up really devious women that want to beat on them, and they trying to keep the peace. And if it's like these women will come out and just say stuff about these guys to try to make them look bad, and unfortunately society will try to believe these women without any proof just because she said, oh, this is what happened. So hopefully we are going to a better place, and all real victims could speak up no matter what your gender is. All real victims could speak up no matter what your gender is, and the real society and the independent media will be more than happy. We'll be more than glad to listen to your case and your evidence at the end of the day.
And it was unanimous. There were 7 people that decided he was defamed.
Amber Heard's attorney was right here the day after the verdict, and she said the jury had not been permitted to see certain evidence that would have bolstered and verified Amber Heard's claims of abuse, in particular therapist's notes. What is your response to that? And was there evidence that was suppressed for a valid legal reason that might have made a difference?
I think that was very disappointing to hear that, and to hear her impugn the character of the jury. And the evidence came in that should come in, and the judge was very fair to both sides.
In particular, she cites the UK judgment. As we all know, Johnny Depp sued The Sun, a newspaper in the United Kingdom. He lost that case, the judge finding that claims by the newspaper that he was a wife beater were substantially true. Now, Amber Heard's lawyers say that judgment should have come into this court case. What say you?
Was a different process, right? And also, Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard in this case were the parties. They had different disclosure obligations. So we disagree. The overwhelming evidence that was presented in this case in Virginia far exceeded what was presented in the UK, and we believe the jury got it right.
As you know, this trial was very closely watched. Social media certainly took off in a way that we've seen high-profile trials before, but this is the social media age. Do you believe the jurors saw any of that, were swayed by any of that?
No, I don't think there's any reason to believe that the jurors violated their oath. And again, that suggestion was disappointing to hear.
Yeah, I mean, Amber Heard's lawyer said so. She said it would have been unavoidable because it's on TikTok, it's on social media. I mean, in the old days, you'd tell the jury before they went out, don't read newspapers, don't watch the evening news. Now it's everywhere.
It is everywhere, but at the same time, they were admonished every single night.
These questions that they ask are just, I don't know. Not sure about these questions that they be asking. But Camille and Ben did amazing. Give it up for Johnny team. I think they all did an amazing job, and just to get this case out there to the real people. And then even people, not just all 50 states, when it went all around the world. So people from all over the world cover it as well and see all the real evidence that was going on, and couldn't ask for a better team.
And they had a tremendous amount of respect, I think, for the court and the process, and they were doing the best that they could.
Yeah. Support for Johnny Depp online was exponentially greater than for Amber Heard. Just one example on TikTok, the Justice for Amber Heard hashtag has 27 million views. Justice for Johnny Depp, 20 billion. Heard's attorneys have suggested that perhaps this is because of an orchestrated campaign on behalf of Johnny Depp. Do you know anything about an online campaign on behalf of Johnny Depp?
That is utterly baseless. In fact, very early in the case, the prior Chief Judge White had thrown out a count in the counterclaims that related to that. It was absolutely absurd and baseless.
And you know for a fact that neither he nor his agents nor anyone tried to, in some way, pay for or otherwise encourage this kind of social media activity.
False. Categorically false.
Why do you think the jury didn't believe her? Because when you look at the verdict, it really comes down to that. The issue was, is what she's saying true or false?
They asked these questions. Why did you not think the jury didn't believe her? Because she was lying. Nobody in their right mind believed this woman. This woman is lying. Right? Why you think you didn't see the proof is in the pudding? This woman is lying. This woman lie about everything. You know, you see her wearing a red shirt, and because you hear her say something that she said, "Oh, I wasn't wearing a red shirt," and I didn't say that. Like, I saw you with my own eyes. I got you on tape. I saw you in the red shirt, and you said that. Oh no, I wasn't saying that. You think you hear me said that. This woman wouldn't. All the evidence. This woman wouldn't admit to anything. This woman is dangerous, devious. This woman is vicious. This woman seems like she's suffering from mental problems to me. I don't know. And she's a compulsive liar. You know, they can't help it. I'm not sure if you could diagnose somebody with a compulsive liar, but that's what she is.
And by their verdict, they said it's false.
Well, my sense is that it had a lot to do with accountability, that Johnny owned his issues. He was very candid about his alcohol and drug issues. He was candid about some unfortunate texts that he wrote. And I think it was a sharp contrast to Ms. Heard, who didn't seem, or at least the jury may have perceived, that she didn't take accountability for anything.
As you know, this has been closely watched, and in the Me Too context, some people have wondered whether there is a larger resonance to this trial, whether it sends a message. Do you see any larger message beyond the case you tried?
No. I mean, frankly, we don't. We're here to talk about the case that we tried, right? We encourage all victims to come forward, have their day in court, which is exactly what happened in this case.
Do you feel confident in your appeal? Ms. Heard does intend to appeal.
We feel very confident that there are no errors that would justify any kind of successful appeal.
And then finally, I have to ask you, not since OJ, perhaps, has the trial been so closely watched and the lawyers become famous people in their own right. What has that been like for you, particularly you, Camille? I think I saw someone on social media get a tattoo of your face on their body, which is weird.
It's been overwhelming and surreal, but to the extent that I can encourage young.
It's not that weird when you're somebody that do a great job and you're standing up for women all around the world to be powerful, to be beautiful, to show strength, to show that you, at the end of the day, you'll stand up for what's right, and you will go with the evidence, and you're willing to take any case, no matter what gender the person is. No matter what gender the person is telling the truth. You are willing to represent that person. And you cannot say the message any clearer. Any real victim, no matter what your gender is, if you're a real victim, you got your real evidence. There's a beautiful, strong, powerful Camille, Ben, and the whole team will represent you like it should be all around the table. Let's get back.
Women to stay in school and maybe inspire them to pursue a legal career, then it's all worth it.
Well, I understand you got a promotion yesterday to partner.
Well deserved.
I was going to say, about time, other partner, right? Camille Vasquez, Ben Chu. Just saying. Thank you very much.
Yes, congratulations to Camille. You know, becoming a partner. She deserved it and then some. This woman is amazing. Surprised she wasn't a part. This woman is, my God, kind of level.